Yeah, hello. So I'm here in Kabajo in Casamance, southern Senegal, and I'm here to show you a project, permaculture project that we're doing. And so here on my left side, you can see that this is the beginning of how we start our raised beds. So basically, just some branches and some leaves that we've covered, that we've gathered around from this area, and you can see it's very hot at this moment and very dry also. Um, but anyway, this is how it looks like. Uh, and if I turn here to the other side, here you can see the raised beds that we've already covered and started to water and have started to plant our initial things. So so yeah, let's have a quick look around. So here you can see well, there's already quite a lot of diversity. So here on the bottom here you can see this is the Vinca roseas and calenchoas, and you have lemongrass, and so you have a lot of different species of plants on the outskirts of the beds. And then on the inside, what you can see most is the pigeon pea, the beans. So this was the first thing that we introduce for fixing nitrogen, and then of course afterwards comes the different moringas and the doctor here, the Vernonia amygdalina, and this is a small area here. It's about 2,000 square meters that we've planted, and there's something like almost 300 different fruit trees. So here you can see the doctor, and here you can see it looks pretty wild, but actually it's pretty good advantage to have all these weeds, because for medicinal purposes, and also to bring in insects, and also, how do you say, to protect the soil so that it doesn't dry out, because at this moment it's really hot and very dry. So you have plants like the Iptis suaviolens that have a very strong smell, and at the same time you have like the Euphorbia irta, which is very good medicinal plant, and all this is working as a ground cover so that it can retain the humidity. And if we look inside here, well, you can see that it's moist, and it's looking pretty blackish, and it has a nice smell, a nice texture to it. So the weeds, they play an important role. Here you can see the first moringa trees, so they're coming up nice, and we have some soursop, and so we have a very big variety of different fruit trees. And then we have the leguminous trees from the acacia family, and in some shadier places, also the trees that are here. This is the Parkia biglobosa. It's a nitrogen fixing tree, and well, this is a palm tree. And so this is stuff that was here that we leave, that are also playing a role. And here on the more shady parts, you can even see there's a small coffee tree coming here. And well, this is the stonebreaker, the Philanthus niruri. So this is also playing a role here. So you can see everything is involved in a natural system, and this is the way that we like it, even though sometimes it looks a bit chaotic. But nature has its way of organizing itself. Here we have the Buddhist plant, Ginura procumbens. So it's really profiting from a shady spot of the garden. uh, and then but then as we advance, you have some more soursop, and here you can see all the trees that are here. This is passion flower that's coming up. So we have quite a lot of passion flower that's amongst the trees that we've left. At the same time, we have a lot of amaranth, and we have some pineapple and damiana, medicinal plants, also on the outskirts, again with the bean. And so we've brought in also coconuts. Here on my left side, it's mostly all bananas and papayas. Of course, there's oranges, lemons, and grapefruit. And this is the Titonia diversifolia, Mexican sunflower, very high on potassium, nitrogen, so it's good for the chop and drop system. Here you can see we have guava, and underneath the guava you have the Acmella oliginosa, also very powerful medicinal plant, next with the damiana. And we have different types of amaranth, different types of flowers. Here you can see the bananas and the papayas with the passion fruit going up the main tree. This is the Sinjan. This is a very medicinal tree. And then of course as many flowers and colors uh, as possible to keep the garden healthy and with enough predators and insects. Also there's a lot of bees around, so it's very interesting. Here you can see the damianas fully exposed, more orange trees. Here we have some dwarf pomegranate, which is doing pretty well. And then here you have basil and calendulas and different other plants. And you can see the system is going pretty well. So, and this was the beds have been now for uh, more or less a year since we started, and most of the plants that you see here, except for the beans, were planted end of October, November, December, some of them very recently. And we have, like I said, a very large variety of trees. This is the Terminalia catapa. It's a nut tree, also medicinal, very good. And you can see as much variety as possible, different palm trees, some ornamental plants that are mixed into the system. There's rosemary, a lot of jasmine, and so this is basically how we do our garden. So this is 1 year since we started, and now and here we have some nice hibiscus flowers, and at the same time you can see there's loads of tomatoes, and the akmele is here, and behind you can see loads of different carrots, and there's basil. And so we mix in the vegetable at this time because there's a lot of sun, so it's a good way to profit from this. And so basically, yeah, this is our garden. The project is called Perma Food Forest, and yeah, so I'll keep you updated. This is very good legume tree, Acacia olosericia, and some nice jasmine here, just about coming. So yeah, okay.